the most skillful fighter at 135 will be hands down Shakur Stevens.
What is it about him? Because I know you have a lot of good attributes, but do you think he has enough power to sustain?
Well, it's really all about skills. Pernell Whitaker wasn't a huge puncher, but he was, very exciting, very tough, and he fought everybody. Shakur is trying to do the same thing.
Yeah, I actually set this fight up. And I honestly did it because I wanted to push myself.
Their matchup, it's one of the best fights you can make in boxing, point blank period. These two are the best in the world at a young age, prime of both of their careers. This is what boxing needs.
Floyd Mayweather has finally weighed in on the Shakur Stevenson versus Teofimo Lopez matchup, and his comments have added a major narrative to the fight. Mayweather was not dismissive or provocative. Instead, he showed clear respect for Stevenson's resume. He stated that Stevenson deserves to be considered the A-side of the matchup, believing that his accomplishments and current standing in the sport justify top billing over Lopez. Given Mayweather's status as one of the greatest defensive and most technically gifted fighters in boxing history, his endorsement carries significant weight. By publicly backing Stevenson in this way, Mayweather signals that he views Stevenson as one of the best fighters in his division and among the most skilled boxers in the sport today.
When you think about the fighters who are fighting now, can you give me your 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 when it comes to the lightweight? Who you would put where?
As of right now, the two guys, the biggest puncher, I feel at the 135 will probably be Gervonta Tank Davis. But the most skillful fighter at 135 will be hands down Shakur Stevens.
What is it about him? Because I know you have a lot of good attributes, but do you think he has enough power to sustain?
Well, it's really all about skills. Pernell Whitaker wasn't a huge puncher, but he was, very exciting, very tough, and he fought everybody. Shakur is trying to do the same thing. He want to fight the best they got out there. I believe his contract is coming to an end, so hopefully we can come together.
The fight between Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez, scheduled for January 31, 2026, is shaping up to be one of the most compelling matchups in boxing, not only because of what is at stake, but because of what it reveals about both fighters. Stevenson enters the bout undefeated at 24-0 with 11 knockouts and already a world champion in 3 weight divisions. He is moving up to 140 pounds to challenge Lopez, the reigning WBO junior welterweight champion, who holds a record of 22-1 with 13 stoppages. On paper, the fight represents a clash of styles and ambitions. Stevenson aiming to become a 4-division world champion, and Lopez looking to solidify his status among the elite at 140 pounds. Beyond the hype, fans, professionals, and analysts alike have offered varied interpretations of what this fight truly means.
It is official. New York City, January 31st, Shakur Stevenson, Teofimo Lopez. I always say it, when boxing gets it right, no other sport comes close. And this is boxing getting it right. The best fighting the best. Both fighters believe that this matchup settles the argument about who leads the new era. So what do we think of the styles matchup, guys? This is a high-speed chess match a la Sugar Ray Leonard or Pernell Whitaker, Leonard and Benitez, or yes. Pernell Whitaker, Buddy McGirt, or is it a Jerry versus Jerry fight, right? Because no one wants to take...
Stevenson has spoken openly about the importance of this contest, describing it as an opportunity to prove he belongs among the best pound-for-pound fighters in the world. He has acknowledged that Lopez will be the toughest opponent of his career, emphasizing that Lopez is not someone to be taken lightly. Stevenson has also pointed out that the matchup is stylistically complex, as both fighters present difficult challenges for one another and are capable of adapting mid-fight. While expressing strong confidence in his own speed, defense, and versatility, Stevenson has suggested that Lopez makes technical mistakes that can be exploited. At the same time, he has been outspoken in criticizing Lopez's confidence, calling it delusional and even questioning his mental state in interviews. However, Stevenson has also admitted that such belief can be dangerous when a fighter is fully convinced of his own greatness.
I think the fight with Teo is either going to be you delivering a masterclass,
Or a knockout by Teo.
yeah, or you getting into some type of brawl with Teo and end up getting knocked out, right? What are fans getting wrong about the matchup?
I think the fans is getting wrong about the matchup is where I'm not sleeping on that I know about Teo. Teo's a good boxer. he's boxer first. So we could say, oh, he's just gonna knock you out. Or he's just gonna. That's not him. He's boxing first. He's gonna want to establish distance and range on the outside and try to beat me up on the outside. So I think that's the main thing. And also the biggest thing that everybody don't realize with me, I can punch. Everybody say, oh, he can't punch, and then boom, crack somebody, and then they laying down, or something may happen to where they hurt or something like that. So I think that's two big things where
Trainers and boxing insiders have offered mixed predictions, highlighting just how nuanced and stylistically challenging this matchup is. Renowned trainer Abel Sanchez suggested that the excitement of the fight will largely depend on Lopez's willingness to take the lead and apply pressure. Sanchez warned that if Lopez chooses to sit back and counter, similar to Stevenson's preferred approach, the fight could become slow and uneventful. He even predicted the possibility of a draw, with both fighters winning strong rounds but failing to fully seize control. Sanchez's analysis reflects a common concern among experts. While both fighters are elite technicians, neither is a natural aggressor, which could result in a tactical chess match rather than a high-action brawl.
What was it about Shakur where you said, you know, I'll stick around at 140 and fight this guy?
His last fight, Cepeda. His last fight. You don't know how many people are talking about him on every scale of him. And when it came to the talks of me and Haney fighting in August, I didn't go for it because he had no motion. Now he does after the Brian Norman. But Shakur, it's all there. But I didn't focus on him. I was focused on what's next, trusting my power team, trusting on my team and what can do and who could we fight next. Shakur decided, he initiated, let's go up to fight Teo.
You have a healthy Teofimo Lopez in there, he's gonna bring it, and he's gonna entertain the crowd.
Definitely. Do you feel that this is gonna be the toughest test of his career? We know that Shakur, this is not the toughest fight. What was the toughest fight?
It's never been the toughest fight for my son. You know, the toughest fight for my son is him being healthy. You know, he's a smash. Yeah. So, you know, and we got to be careful with that because losing the weight. You know, we're moving after this fight. We're moving up to 147. I'm not gonna allow.
Top trainer Robert Garcia admitted that he finds the matchup difficult to predict but leans slightly toward Lopez, citing Lopez's experience at 140 pounds and his history of competing against elite opposition. Garcia's assessment shows respect for Lopez's achievements and suggests that his familiarity with the division could give him an advantage in close rounds. Meanwhile, former sparring partner Ashaqua Foster expressed doubts about Stevenson's punching power and argued that Lopez's physical strength could be a deciding factor. Foster believes that while Stevenson's movement and boxing intelligence are elite, they may not be enough to fully offset Lopez's size and physical presence.
Right? It's the type of matchups we always are acting for. When it comes to explosiveness, I would have to go with Teo. When it comes to actual rapid speed, I would have to go with Teo. But when it comes to body punching, when it comes to good timing, when it comes to craft, I would have to give all of that to Shakur Stevenson.
What do you think, Doug?
They're both boxers. I look at Stevenson as a versatile technician. I look at Teofimo. He's a boxer puncher, but his specialty is his counter punching. Listen, if Stevenson wants to be on his stick and move game, very difficult style matchup for Teofimo, and maybe not that entertaining to the fans.
Because Stevenson's longer.
Exactly.
Stevenson's defense probably the best in the game,
and he's longer. Great reflexes and timing, and so does Teo. That's why he's a great counter puncher. But Teo's, he's a very special athlete, and as a competitor, he is one of those guys who saves his A game for a fellow elite opponent. That's when he really rises his game and shows us the Teofimo Lopez that everybody thought he was when he was a prospect. People used to look at him and say, oh, this guy is going to be the star in boxing. It didn't really play out that way, but every now and then he reminds us how special he is.
Teofimo is a two-division Ring Magazine champion. In both fights where he won the Ring Magazine championship, he was the underdog. 4-1 underdog against Lomachenko. People forget, Lomachenko was taking elite fighters in the lower divisions and they were quitting.
Yes.
He was beating them into some, they were like, I can't do this, right? And Teofimo beat him. Right, he outboxed him.
Yeah, he didn't do it by physically imposing himself on him.
He outboxed him, he outfought him, he had speed, power, and then again, against Josh Taylor at junior welterweight, he was the underdog, so he saves his best for his...
Man, happy to have you on the platform, man. Big fight coming up. I heard you was the one that wanted to fight, right?
Yeah. I actually set this fight up. And I honestly did it because I wanted to push myself. I know that Teo is a tremendous fighter. I know he's on an extremely high level. And I feel like, well, I know that I can beat him, but I know that this should be a tough set, so I'm ready.